through it just so everyone. Spencer Rattler is our starting quarterback. Really excited for him. He's done an awesome job this offseason. So
the Saints have finally made their decision on their starting quarterback. It was announced on Tuesday that second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler will be the Saints starting QB1 going into the 2025 regular season. Spencer Rattler beat out Tyler Shuck. He won the starting job, and he is the Saints' #1 quarterback for the season, or at least to start off the season. We'll have to see how the year goes, but for now, Spencer Rattler is Kellen Moore and the Saints offensive coaching staffs, and the offense, he is the leader of the offense as the starting quarterback. What was Tyler Shuck's response to this? The Saints cut Jake Haener and are interested in acquiring another quarterback who's available right now, who was also cut earlier today. We're going to have that all covered in today's video. I'm Cash, and you should take 5 seconds to like the video and subscribe. Help support the channel. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're almost at 14,000 right now, so appreciate the support. Let's keep this thing going. And with all that being said, let's dive into the Saints naming Spencer Rattler their starting quarterback. Yep, it's official. The Saints have named Spencer Rattler as their starting quarterback versus the Arizona Cardinals and for the 2025 season. It was announced Tuesday from Saints head coach Kellen Moore that Rattler was going to be named the Saints starting quarterback. And look at this graphic. This graphic is fire. You got Rattler's nameplate, and then you got Rattler doing the whole nonchalant aura farming thing over the word starter. Like, this is a fire graphic right here. Holy chills. This is an awesome graphic for an awesome moment for a guy who was picked in the 5th round last year. They drafted Tyler Shuck to replace him. They didn't believe in him basically because they drafted Tyler Shuck, and he was still able to overcome all these obstacles. Shout out to Spencer Rattler. Good for him, and I'm happy he's getting this opportunity. A while back, Kellen Moore was asked about what will be the biggest deciding factor when it comes to the Saints quarterback competition between Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler, and he said consistency. And a while back, we said Spencer Rattler was the more consistent quarterback. You know what you're getting out of him. While Tyler Shuck, he may have the higher upside, but you're going to deal with more of the highs and lows, up and down moments. Whereas with Rattler, you know what you're getting, and that's exactly what Kellen Moore said today. Consistency was why they essentially went with Spencer Rattler. He just had consistent practices day in and day out. He has made really good decisions with the football. I'd say he's more likely to protect the football than Tyler Shuck, even though they both had the same amount of turnovers in the preseason. I think Rattler is the safer option and is the correct answer. I think Rattler was a starting quarterback, and he was the way they were leaning going into the Broncos preseason game. And it makes sense why the Saints went with Spencer Rattler due to his consistency. When you look at the numbers, they were practically identical in the preseason. I posted this on my Twitter. I did the graphic too, so your boy has some graphic skills. Also, look at the new profile picture on Twitter. Same with YouTube. Check it out. But here's the numbers. Rattler, 69 completion percentage, basically 70, basically 300 yards, 1 pass touchdown, 42 rush yards, had that 2-point conversion rushing play versus the Jags, had a pick and a fumble, 4 sacks, 5 scoring drives. Tyler Shuck, a little less completion, 40 more yards, same passing touchdowns, 20 less rushing yards, had a rushing touchdown, led an extra touchdown scoring drive, threw a pick, threw a fumble, took 1 extra sack, had 5 scoring drives. Basically the exact same numbers. You could look at this as, wow, Spencer Rattler has all this extra experience over Shuck, and Shuck is already that close. Or you could look at it as, wow, Spencer Rattler, a 5th round pick, is basically playing at the same level as the Saints' 2nd round pick. But it was the consistency from Spencer Rattler from training camp, OTAs, minicamp, in the preseason games that led the Saints and Kellen Moore to making Spencer Rattler their starting quarterback. One of the biggest things I took away from Kellen Moore and what he had to say on Tuesday when it comes to the quarterback competition is how much they're going to be backing up Spencer Rattler as he's their starting quarterback. Kellen Moore said the Saints QB decision is not going to be up for debate. We're not getting into this QB debate throughout the season every week. Oh, did Rattler play good enough? Will Shuck come in? That kind of thing. He said they're not getting into that. Spencer is their starting quarterback, and Tyler Shuck is going to continue to develop behind the scenes as he should. He just doesn't look quite ready to be an NFL starter, and that's okay. Majority of 2nd round picks are not starting day one. And for the most part, 2nd round picks don't hit, and neither do 5th round picks. But Tyler Shuck not being a week 1 starter and a day 1 starter is not the exception. That's usually the standard with 2nd round pick quarterbacks. It just, this one stands out more because Spencer Rattler is a 2nd year quarterback and is a year younger than Tyler Shuck. It's not like he's Brian Hoyer or something, so that's why that stands out. And then Moore said that they're really excited about Spencer Rattler. They think he's going to do an awesome job for them as the team moving forward. And I think the leash for Spencer Rattler is going to be pretty decently sized. I don't think if he has 3 bad games and they start off 0-3, they're going to put in Tyler Shuck unless he looks like Nathan Peterman. If Spencer Rattler looks like Nathan Peterman by week 3, yeah, you take him out. But I think this leash is going to be like 6 to 8 weeks. Spencer Rattler is going to get a good opportunity to show what he can do. And if it's good, keep him on the field. And if it's bad, well, then he's got a rookie behind him who the Saints obviously want to see play in Tyler Shuck. And then they'll maybe go to him if things go sideways this season. I think the big picture here too is that likely during this season, both quarterbacks are going to start games this season. Spencer Rattler is starting off week 1, but who knows, by week 17, Tyler Shuck might be starting. They likely both are going to play games this season. That's just the reality of the situation. However, though, if this coaching staff knew back in April that Tyler Shuck was not going to be able to beat out Spencer Rattler, they probably don't draft him, because they drafted Tyler Shuck to beat out Spencer Rattler. They drafted him because they loved him as a quarterback more than they loved Spencer Rattler as a quarterback. They drafted him to replace him. That was the hand-picked quarterback. They gave him every opportunity to take the job. Tyler Shuck just never did. So if the team knew that Spencer Rattler was going to beat out Tyler Shuck back in April, do they make that same pick? I'm not really too sure. There's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of players. The Tyler Shuck is on the team. I think he's talented. I want to see him play at some point, but he just simply doesn't look ready to start a game right now. And Spencer Rattler looks like the safer option, looks more prepared, looks more ready, and definitely looks like a guy who you know what you're getting out of him, as opposed to Tyler Shuck. You're going to have lots of lows and lots of highs. I find it really cool that Spencer Rattler's first game starting as the Saints' official starting quarterback is going to be against the Arizona Cardinals, where he grew up in Arizona. I think that's a pretty cool storyline as well. Tyler Shuck was asked about losing the starting job to Spencer Rattler, and he said there's a plan for everything. His job is to handle his role as the backup QB right now behind Spencer Rattler, but to do everything he can in that way to support the team.
I think for me, I'm focused on this week, just trying to get better and improving, my game and being there to support Spencer. Obviously, I think there's a plan for everything. But my job is to handle my role right now. But to do everything I can in that way.
Something else that was really interesting was that Tyler Shuck's agent tweeted this out saying, "I like the plan," after it was announced that Spencer Rattler was going to be the starting quarterback. So obviously the plan is to let Tyler Shuck develop behind the scenes, get more ready for the NFL to where he can start at some point during the season. That is if Spencer Rattler fails and that experiment doesn't go well. But for the agent to say he likes the plan, I mean, he is getting his money, his all $10 million guaranteed money from Tyler Shuck. But shouldn't he be wanting Tyler Shuck to be the starting QB? I'm not really too sure what's going on here. This is not the only movement and activity on the day for the Saints at the quarterback position. Obviously, the big news on the day is Spencer Rattler being named the starting quarterback, Tyler Shuck being the backup. But it was also cut down day. Every team in the NFL had to get their rosters down to 53 from 90. And that includes the Saints, who had to make a bunch of roster moves. We're going to do a video about that tomorrow on Wednesday. We'll do a video about the roster cuts and everything like that. But one of them was quarterback Jake Haener. Mike Garafolo reported that the Saints were waiving quarterback Jake Haener, the third-year quarterback who was a part of the starting QB competition, but in reality, he wasn't. He only got to play like 4 total drives. He was one of the lowest graded Saints players on PFF, so he wasn't really a part of the competition. I think it was just the Saints coaching staff giving him benefit of the doubt, but he was really never part of it. The Saints traded 2 fourth-round picks to pick him, and it worked out horribly. Thankfully, we're done with Fresno State quarterbacks. He appeared in 8 games for the Saints last season, and he's expected to get a fresh start elsewhere. So I take this as the Saints are getting rid of him. I know for a fact that the Saints did give him an offer to hop on their practice squad as the third QB, or I guess the emergency QB on the practice squad. But I don't know if Jake Haener is going to like that. I'm sure a team like, I don't know, the Jets or the Falcons, or I don't really know, some team could probably sign him and he could go to their 53-man roster or something like that. But yeah, I'll pass on keeping Jake Haener on the roster. I'm glad they made the move because watching him play was not good. He's not that good. Honestly, I don't know how he was a 4th-round pick. But with the Saints getting rid of Jake Haener, that does open up a roster spot for a third quarterback on the roster or an extra QB on the practice squad. That's what most teams do. I doubt they just go with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck. And then Mike Garafolo added some context that the Falcons waived Easton Stick, their backup QB, who drew interest from the Saints this offseason. I did not know the Saints were interested in him or tried to sign Easton Stick. He was a guy who I kind of put together they should look into, but I didn't know there's actual interest there. and it makes sense because he has a history with Kellen Moore. And Mike Garafolo expects him to be considered in New Orleans as that third QB. He's a veteran guy. He's not great, but he could definitely provide some help to these young QBs like Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck. And I'd keep an eye out. I'd most definitely rather have Easton Stick on the roster instead of Jay Kaner. So that's the Saints quarterback situation going on right now. Spencer Rattler named the starting quarterback. That is the biggest news of the day. Shout out to him. He deserved it. He earned it. And I'm rooting for him. I want him to have success. And if he doesn't, well, I'm going to be rooting for Tyler Shuck. I don't know why people have to go so hard for one or the other. Shouldn't we just be rooting for them to be both really good or both really bad so we can get the top pick in the draft? Either way, though, it's going to be a eventful season to say the least. Jay Kaner was cut, and the Saints might be interested in Easton Stick. I just got home from class. I wanted to do this quick video, though, because this is the most important news of the Saints' entire offseason outside of Kellen Moore being hired. Wanted to get this out, and tomorrow we will do a video on all the roster cuts, and then we'll do a video on the trades and everything like that. It's a grind with this whole schedule, and it would mean a lot to me if you would just help support the channel. Let me know down in the comments what you make of Spencer Rattler being named the Saints starting quarterback over Tyler Shuck. Was it the right or the wrong decision? Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Casual. I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.